Right, so good morning from the Doré Canyon. Got a spectacular view behind us here. So today we're heading into Barzan Country, the area that gives its name to the most prominent political family in Kurdistan, the Barzani family. So we're going to see a bit of the nature there. Hopefully we're going to see an old town as well on the road. We've got a guide with us today because the language they speak there is a bit different. So my poor Kurdish will be to no effect, to no impact at all in the place that we're going. So let's see what unfolds over the course of the day. So we stopped off for a hearty breakfast at the local tea house. So we've got the full Kurdish breakfast here. They make it literally just over there, so the kitchen is in with the tea house itself. And so what we've got in front of us is the classic, it's the fried egg, and then a few new things we've not tried yet. Oh, thank you very much. We've got the chickpea soup, very nutritious, so we'll give that a go. Of course, bread accompanies every meal in Kurdistan. Then we've got a few dairy products here. So we've got the kaimach, which is like a kind of clotted buffalo cream, is the way I could describe it. And this is sertu, which is the top of the yogurt.
Let me show you how each kaimach.
Okay.
So usually they put honey on the top, but here they didn't have honey today.
Okay.
Like this.
Oh, looks great. Looks just up my street.
Yeah.
Looks good.
And then sometimes they put honey on the top.
Okay, cool. I think it'll be just enough as it is. Yeah, thank you. Right, let's go. Right, so we're now in the Pers Mountains, and beneath us there is the Barzan Valley. You can also see the Zab River. So this valley lends its name to one of the big political families in Kurdistan, the Barzani family, and they were one of the big kind of Peshmerga families in the 70s and the 80s. And because of that, in 1988, Saddam Hussein had a project to flood this whole valley. Now, he said that was just to bring water to the Iraqi people, but of course there was a political reason underneath all of that as well. It was to sink this whole region and sink the Barzani family with it. Now, Saddam only managed to complete about 20% of that project, and that is because in 1991, due to the Kurdish uprising, due to the Gulf War, he effectively lost control of this region. But imagine in an alternate universe, when if Saddam was still in power, this whole region would have been flooded to create the biggest dam in the Middle East. So now entering the minefield. This is a sign just asking people to report anything suspicious.
Come on, this is the coffee cup.
It's a coffee cup?
Definitely.
Okay. I thought,
No, I've seen mine.
I was excited for a minute. I thought we found something right by the... well, you know, like...
No, it cannot be here.
Well, I was thinking it would be strange to be here, right? Yeah.
Here. Do you see this metal? This is Minefield sign.
Ah, right.
So, because it's very old, so
Yeah.
you don't see. It's written 3 language. Dangers. Do you see the part of dangers?
Yes.
And then means in Kurdish, and also khatar.
Khatar,
In
Arabic.
Tirsanaka in Kurdish, and
Okay.
then every 10 meters there is mine sign. Do you see?
Yes, yeah. Okay, so there are over 3,200 active minefields in Kurdistan, and we are right by one of them. We're not getting too close. Now, why are there so many minefields in Kurdistan? It's because, for example, during the Iran-Iraq war, when Iran took territory and it wanted to defend the territory, or it knew it would lose it, they would put down mines. Saddam was putting down mines both against the Iranians, but also as well, particularly in this area, against the Peshmerga to limit their movement. Recently, Turkey has been mining this area as well because of the PKK too, who have been kind of active in this area. And so that is why, unfortunately, so many of these weapons of war still exist within Kurdistan. We probably wouldn't find any just here, but because they're dropped from the air, they might be on that ridge or just above. By any means, we're not going to move any closer than we already are. So this Barzan area was very sensitive during the Saddam era because it was very much the heart of the ongoing Kurdish rebellion against Saddam at the time, and that's why you have the mines that we just talked about. That's why you have this road as well. This just used to be a dirt track, but Saddam created this quite kind of complex road within the mountains in order to have a better control of the area. At the top of that mountain there, Saddam had a military base, so his soldiers had a bird's eye view of the whole of the Barzan Valley. So our guide Haval was explaining that you could not really lead a normal life in this area from 74 to 91 when Saddam was in control of this area. We're now entering another geli, Geli Zinta. You have a lot of geli in Kurdistan. Geli just refers to these very narrow canyons. So yesterday we were in the Geli Karak, before we were in the Geli Ali Beg. So yeah, another kind of spectacular example. Oh, look at that, how beautiful. Another example of a spectacular geli in Kurdistan. Okay, right, so we've arrived at the Doré Canyon. Sometimes this area is restricted, but luckily our guide Haval has managed to get us in. So as you can see, we've got a spectacular canyon in front of us, and this is the Doré River, and that will lead into the background into the Great Zab River. That in turn will go into the Euphrates, or Dishla, as they call it oh sorry, the Dishla, the Tigris, isn't it? What am I like? I've got the wrong around. So it will lead into the Tigris, one of the two principal rivers in the area. So yeah, absolutely spectacular. So we're in the Geli Sorogvan, still in the Barzan region. It's a little valley, nice river. So we're just going to have a little hike around and see what we can find. Oh, it's very narrow here, isn't it? Whee. This way. This way, right, okay. Whee.
Thank you.
This is like a very popular picnic spot in Kurdistan. Tons of people coming in there, taking baklava, grills, even shisha pipes as well. Right, so after like working up a sweat in the Zorogvan Valley, we've stopped off a little beauty spot here. We've got the Great Zab River behind us, and in front of us. So we tried the grilled fish. Now we've got the fried fish. So this is in Kurdish it's called kazil. Kazil, yeah. We looked it up, and I think it's called gara in English. So I'd never heard of it. So we're just going to eat it with the hands. Oh, got to be careful with the bones here. Really good, like lovely and meaty. Not over fried at all. We've got a few pickles here as well, just to kind of cut through some of the fat too. So yeah, lovely little lunch. Right, so you can see we're now on the other side of the Great Zab River. We ate our fried fish over there at the Barzan restaurant. It was absolutely excellent. Just look how powerful this river is. I've never quite seen anything like it. Look at that. And it makes me think, if this is a tributary of the Tigris or the Dishla, as they call it here, you know, what the strength and the width of that river must be. Look forward to seeing it. Hopefully when we go to Turkey. So we're now on the other side of the Paris Mountains, and look at that zigzagging road down below. I mean, that must have taken a hell of a job to engineer. So we're heading in that direction. That is the town of Dimarta, if I'm not mistaken, and then just past that we are going to Akre. Right, we've got a praying mantis here, who's trying to take control of the handbrake.
Yeah.
Hopefully he's not gonna. Hopefully he doesn't pull it down as we're rolling all the way down the Paris Mountains. Yeah. Right. Okay. How is he dangerous? Does he bite?
No, he doesn't bite.
Okay.
Take him out.
I'm scared of him.
Come on.
You're scared of him. He's got.
No.
Oh no!
Yeah, come on.
One sec. I'm going out here. Ah! I'm throwing him in your direction, Hiba.
Yeah.
I'm throwing him in your direction. Is he gone?
Yeah.
Cool, right, okay.
Please don't die.
We're now entering Old Akre. Okay, so we are now in the centre of historic Akre. Actually, Akre began at the top of that mountain there. It was King Zad, right? Zand, who founded Akre around 2,500 years ago. Zand was a Zoroastrian, one of the original religions before Christianity, before Islam. They worship fire, if I'm not mistaken. So Zand and the Zoroastrians had a hard job getting water up at the top there. So that's why the settlement gradually kind of crept down into this kind of almost valley in between these mountains. And this mosque here is from the, well, it'd be the 7th century, because it was Umar Khattab, the second caliph, who is believed to have built this mosque when they conquered Iraq in the 7th century. So a very interesting example of 7th century kind of Umayyad mosque architecture. Nowruz, as you can see from this, what would you call this, mural here as well, is also celebrated predominantly here well, this is the place to come, isn't it, to celebrate Nowruz, right? Nowruz being the Kurdish New Year, happens every year on the 21st of March, and this whole mountain here will be lit up by lights during the time of Nowruz. So it's a real must-see if you are in Kurdistan on the 21st of March. Yeah. This here, just above us, is a building that the British built when they colonised Iraq just after the First World War. So this was built in 1933. So that's another forgotten part of history in the UK, that this was once a British colony, and in fact Iraq was really kind of invented, for a better way of putting it, by the British after the First World War, as part of the Sykes-Picot Agreement with the French that essentially divided the Middle East up between Britain, who took over Iraq, and Palestine, Egypt, of course, Sudan, and the French, who took control of Lebanon, Morocco, Tunisia, and such like. Right, so this is an old coffee shop in Akre. You can see the very ornate, I think these are called cezve in Turkey, that they make the coffee in. Originally, Kurdistan was a coffee country. When the British arrived, they brought a lot of tea with them from Sri Lanka, from India, the British Empire, and that got the Kurds hooked on tea. And so now they're big tea drinkers, and it's very hard to find a good cup of coffee in this part of the world. But you will here in this cafe in Akre. Okay, right, so we stopped off for some ice cream at a famous place in the city. This is actually made out of goat's milk. They call it dondurma, which is the Turkish word for ice cream. And I thought this would be quite sour and salty. That's really kind of quite sweet, isn't it? And fragrant. You can tell they sweetened that quite a lot. But it's a lovely, smooth, velvety texture, probably more so than the cow's milk ice cream. So yeah, I'll be definitely coming back for more of this if I'm back in Akre anytime soon for Nowruz. Yeah. Okay, so we're in the shrine of Sheikh Abdulaziz Galani. I'm surprised I got that right first time. The usual videographer is in a full abaya, so Hava was kindly offered to take over the camera duties. So this is a very new shrine. You can see it's very ornate, but Sheikh Abdulaziz Galani was actually from the 12th century. He was part of Saladin's army. Saladin, probably the most famous Kurd in history, took back the holy cities for the Muslims during the time of the Crusades. So after Sheikh Abdulaziz Galani fought with Saladin, he became a holy man, a Sufi, and this is a shrine and his tomb in here, which is very old, from the 12th century, dedicated to him. As a saint, people will come here to pay their respects. Lots of calligraphy we can see up here. For example, we've got Allah here. What does that say? Illa innu.
Ala inna awliya Allah la khawfun alayhim wa la hum yahzanun.
Okay.
الذين آمنوا وكانوا يتقون لهم البشرى في الحياة الدنيا وفي الآخرة.
Okay.
This is a chapter or verses in Quran.
I see. Your classical Arabic is much better than mine,
Thank
Hava.
you so much.
What is it?
So one of the pilgrims or visitors, she has a wish, and then she come here. This is for us is like strange belief. Not every Muslim believe in that, but
Okay.
Sufi. So she come with lock, and then she made a wish, and then or the prayer or whatever she wants.
Okay. Can we?
Ya qismati. Okay, what is written here? I think she made a wishes to be married.
Oh.
Ya qismatiya wa navi khaira. Yeah, I think she wishes to get married soon.
Okay.
So
Well,
she's old, old woman.
Okay,
She
well,
wants to marry.
inshallah, that happens for her. Oh, hello. Bashi?
Bashi?
Okay. Nushti Bashi?
Nusti Bashi?
Nusti Bashi?
Bash Nusti?
Bash Nushti. Okay. Basha. Okay, so we're on our way to Marmatai, which is a monastery, an Orthodox monastery. You can see it's just up there, on the top of that mountain, or just below the top of that mountain. And we're driving between two big wheat fields. And what I find absolutely amazing is that we are in the heart of the Fertile Crescent, right? Mesopotamia, the land of two rivers, the Tigris, the Euphrates, and wheat would have been cultivated here for thousands of years. This is the place where civilization was born. So just as wheat is being cultivated in 2024 here, wheat would have been cultivated here 4,000, 5,000, 6,000 years BC.
Incidents he made Saint Matthew. When he met, they talked to each other.
So we're in the Marmatai monastery. This is the oldest Orthodox monastery in the world. Marmatai means Saint Matthew. He came here from Diyarbakir, so what's now in Turkey, and this has been here since the 4th century, so even before the time of Islam. None of this architecture is from the 4th century. because it was actually destroyed by the Mongols in the maybe 12th or 12th or 11th century, time of Genghis Khan. So this would have been from that time, and it's been renovated since. But very interesting to see such an old structure, Christian structure, in what is now obviously predominantly Muslim land.
So when he died, they buried him here, and then his friend Manzaka, he replaced him. So these two are the oldest one.
So these are the original tombs
from
the 4th century?
4th century, yeah. Right. 363 AD or 64 AD.
And this here is a Syriani, right? The Assyrian language, which is what the Syrian Orthodox Church use for their liturgies.
Yes, exactly. Then what's about this chain? The chain in Iraq, even Christian, Muslim or Yazidi, they believe sometimes ghost or demon goes to your soul. Right. So when demon goes to the soul of the person, he become, or devil, so he become crazy. So long time ago, priests or monks, they used to use chain to control the guy. They used to put chain in his neck or in his feet to control him and then pray on him to kick out the devil or the demon. Okay, so because this chain used by many monks and priests, so still some Christians, especially all the generation,
exorcism.
Exactly, exorcism. They come here, especially women who cannot be pregnant, people who has cancer, old people who has cancer, they come
They
here.
chain themselves.
Yeah, they chain. That's not forever, just for 10 minutes to pray.
Yes.
So people who come here, they leave their wishes, their prayer here, because it's a holy cave, because it's holding the tomb of Saint Matthew.
Oh, interesting.
So the wishes, prayer.
I see they put candles in there as well.
Money, candle, tissue, anything, can be anything. It's their wishes. It's like the log. Do you remember in the shrine?
In the Sufi shrine.
More or less same.
Yeah. Doesn't matter what religion you are.
Exactly.
We're all wishing for a better future. Right? Yeah. Okay, so this monastery is very close to Iraq's second biggest city, Mosul, which famously, of course, was taken over by Islamic State. And actually this monastery was only 3 kilometers away from the front line. And so you can actually see the trenches that were dug by the Peshmerga, by the Peshmerga or the Iraqi army?
Yeah,
the Peshmerga. Just 3 kilometers away from this monastery, so it was perilously close to the front line. I mean, imagine what would have happened if ISIS had arrived here. It would have been absolutely awful scenes. That's not the only danger though that ISIS, when it comes to this area, you also have to the right of us a dam that Saddam Hussein built in the 1980s called Mosul Dam. Now this is one of the most unstable dams in the world due to the soil, and actually if it does rupture and flood, the waters could go 400 meters. This is one huge plain, Mesopotamia, all the way to Baghdad, right? And sink half of Baghdad, as well as all of this surrounding area. So let's hope that dam holds up.
At least for today and tomorrow.
Exactly. Let's see. With the sun setting over Mosul, it's time to bring a close to another chapter of A Chap Abroad.